I got a question, and I need y'all to keep it 100. Make sure y'all can hear me. Tell me in the comments if you as a woman would ever get on one knee and propose to a man to ask for his hand in marriage. I just want you to keep it real with me. Put yes or no. That's it. Yes or no. If as a woman, you could ever see yourself being in a relationship with a man, I'm talking about, let's say, more than 5 years, and then getting on one knee and proposing to that man because you know that you're a marriage-minded woman, you're a wife, you know what you want, proposing to that man to ask for his hand in marriage. Keep it real. I want a few people who are going to tell me, like, I'm not sure what era I'm living in. I'm not sure no more. But I want to know, for those who joined it in, down in the comments, please, this is something I'm actually looking in the comments right now. Comment yes or no. If you as a woman would propose to a man for his hand in marriage, you love him, y'all been together for years, whatever, everything else is seeming pretty cool, but you want to be married, he's not yet asked you to be his wife, you don't know if he's going to, et cetera, et cetera, so you got it on your mind, this is what you want, and you're going to go and do it. Yes or no? What's up, Toby? What's up, Pamela? Let me see it. No. I'm seeing no. Okay. What's that? Post this right now. Okay, no, says Shan. All right. Because honestly, if I got a lot of yeses, I wouldn't even continue on with this conversation. This is over with because maybe I'm tripping. But I saw a post. It was one of the Olympians. It was a woman, been with her man 9 years. Right? Something about the number 9 was just special to her. Anyway, she proposed to her man. She proposed to her boyfriend. Now I'm not here to judge this woman because honestly, I think whatever works for you, it just works for you. I know different strokes for different folks, but I was thinking to myself, couldn't be me. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all have that thought. And I looked in the comments because I'm like, sometimes I'm just in a bubble. I don't pay attention. I don't know what the trend is right now. But I looked in the comments and a lot of women were actually saying, oh, I could never do that. And I was like, wow, that's crazy because what I've noticed is based on a lot of whether comments or emails that y'all send, DMs, y'all asking me questions, I'm like, you know what? It's a lot of y'all doing something worse. Now I might step on some toes, but I want to keep it all the way real with you. A lot of y'all are not proposing to a man to take his hand in marriage, but you are proposing to a man to be in a relationship with you, a healthy relationship with you. You are proposing to that man. Anytime you compensate for him in any kind of way where you're trying to force him to be a man, force him to grow up, force him to be mature, force him to meet you halfway, force him to reciprocate, you're not proposing to him for marriage. You're doing something worse. You're proposing for him to just be in a relationship. Because what is a proposal? It's essentially you saying, will you join me in this elevation to whatever we got going on? Will you come into agreement with being in this kind of union, relationship, connection, and having this kind of understanding? You're proposing to that man anytime you chase him. And I think a lot of y'all don't realize we are in a day and age where a lot of men want you to chase. And not just in the dating scene. A lot of men today, it just is what it is. We just got a whole different breed of dudes these days. A lot of men want the woman to chase. Now, I can give you some context to that because truthfully, it comes from a place of insecurity. A lot of men are afraid of being rejected. They have a sensitivity to being rejected. I've dealt with that myself, so I get it, except because I'm a masculine man. In the sense that that's what I've always pursued, being the most masculine version of myself. I believe in gender roles. I believe there's a man's role and a woman's role. Some people don't. Cool. I ain't trying to force nothing on you. But there's a lot of men who don't, and they want the woman to chase. But the misconception a lot of my sisters got is that that's only in the beginning. Or that's only whenever, a woman proposes to a man. A lot of times a man will get in a relationship with you and get you to chase him all throughout the relationship. And it makes sense to me why, as a man, we might encounter this because, of course, like I said, as a masculine man, we're supposed to be the assertive factor. We're supposed to initiate. We're supposed to be the one to put ourselves out there, invest first, all of that kind of stuff. So there are some people who, they just kind of slides in terms of what they believe, how far you should go. And so some women want you to really extend yourself to assert yourself. Like, we get it. I don't get why, as a feminine woman who believes a man should be the masculine factor, a sperm chases the egg. Like, women are the favor factor. A man who findeth a wife finds a good thing, not the other way around, and you're chasing that man. So you might be asking, D, well, how do we chase men? First off, if you're new here, I'm your internet big brother now. I'm your internet big brother. I got you. And if you find something I say to be true here in this conversation, just hit the share button so we can share this truth. But one way a man will get you to chase him in a relationship is by responding slowly or with half-assed effort to something you inquire about, a way that you might need reassurance, a way that you might need clarity. Anytime a man gives you half effort, I don't like cussing too much, but I had to. Anytime a man gives you half effort in the timeliness that he responds to you, or in the depth in which he considers whatever it is that you ask him, he's getting you to chase him for more. It's not that he doesn't know. Now, please take what I'm saying with some discernment. Don't look at what I'm about to tell you and say, well, if he ever, did this or slipped up or, made this mistake, I'm going to just throw him away. No, if you got a good man and he makes a mistake, not a deal breaker, but a mistake, work with him, forgive him. Y'all, that's a relationship, okay? I'm not here to give you unrealistic expectations. However, ain't nothing unrealistic about expecting a man in a general context to give real effort to connecting with you, to communicating with you, to giving you clarity. Anytime that you present that you got some kind of doubt or uncertainty about what he's on, to take it as a privilege that he gets the opportunity to set the tone for how you guys move forward through any type of rough patch or season where you're not sure what's going on. Nothing is unrealistic about that. But anytime you got to sit there and police a man for responding slowly, or you done sent all of this context and communication effort and he just give you one little liner, or y'all get to talking and he just act like he ready for you to shut up, that man is getting you to chase him. That's low effort, slow texting, whatever. And I know, hey, look, I'm a busy man. I got kids, I got businesses, I got things going on. There's a such thing as a man who's genuinely busy, certain pockets, he's unavailable. Again, use your discernment. But if you know that this man make time for everything else, he active on social media, he doing all this kind of stuff, but your texts go unresponded to for hours and hours, your calls, the conversations, anytime you want to hold him accountable, the conversation gets short. Anytime you want to talk about something you're interested in, the conversation gets short. That man is making you chase him for more. And therefore, it's not just the equivalent, it's even worse than you proposing to him for marriage. That ain't even saying, hey, I want to be in a marriage and me, wife, you, husband. You just saying, hey, I want you to be a respectful, considerate human being. Basic common decency. You're proposing to him for something that's honestly the bare minimum. Keep it real with you. Another way that a lot of modern men are doing this, would try and make you chase him. And I want y'all to be on game so you can know how to protect yourself and align yourself with the masculine man you truly deserve. It's by playing dumb. When a man plays dumb, y'all know what I'm talking about, the absolute obvious thing that he may have already brought to your attention that he doesn't like when it's done to him, but whenever the shoe's on the other foot and he's doing it to you, he act like he can't understand what you mean, or you thinking too much into it, or, you just making up stuff, or it's like, what's going on? What you mean? I shouldn't be flirting with other girls. What you mean? I should be on time for dates. What you mean? And he just playing dumb. He is, again, making you chase him. He's trying to push you to a place where you're overcompensating for his willful ignorance, or maybe he's even being obtuse, intentionally oversimplifying things or whatever. But some type of way, he's getting you to carry more of the load for the healthy relationship. And doing it on purpose. A lot of times a man want to do this because this is a way to burn you out or confuse you or some kind of way discourage you from again, holding him accountable for something. He's going to play dumb. What you mean? Huh? I just don't get it. You know what I'm saying? You're saying a lot of stuff and he just plays stupid, confuse you, running around in circles. He's getting you to chase him in the form of trying to push him and propose to him to operate like he got some sense, like he's an adult, like he's been here before. And the sad thing is, this don't go away with age. That's why I say maturity does not, you can't see a man's maturity based on his birthday. Maturity is not reflected on that man's driver's license or his birth certificate. Maturity is not in the year he was born. Maturity is an intentional choice to evolve and grow. And you got 40-something, 50-something, 60-something-year-old men who are playing these childish games because they never evolved from the insecurity that has them doing this type of thing to a woman, unaware that a properly loved woman becomes 10 times the woman that she was before and can therefore maximize him 10 times more than what she ever could otherwise. And so he's sitting there straining you, your energy, diverting and confusing you because that makes him feel more powerful and therefore getting you to chase him. I'm being real with you. Is what I'm saying making sense? Lori says, very true. Okay, good. Another way that a man will get you to chase him, and again, we're not talking about you planning dates and paying for stuff in the we're talking about in the relationship, is whenever he has a pattern of splitting his attention with you. There was a woman that came on, we do weekly live chats, me and my mentees. I have a group of about 1,500 women in my Self-Crown VIP. And that's my mentorship group. So one of the women, she said that a man was trying to take her call while he was playing video games and was like, I can do both. And essentially, he wanted to split his attention while she was looking to connect with him. And this is actually in the beginning. This ain't even in the relationship. And I told her straight up, run. I ain't even saying because the man likes to play video games or whatever he likes to do as his extracurricular activity, that's the bad part. But if the man in the very beginning wants you to split it, he's already trying to lower your expectations for what to expect from him. Now, why would a man want to do that? Because he wants you to now get in this rat race of trying to earn or show yourself approved for more energy from him, for undivided attention. We all know that whenever something's really important to you, you focus in on it. That's why he's focusing in on the game. He's already trying to get her to acclimate to the role of being second fiddle to what's important to him, already out the gate, to a video game. We ain't talking about, his daughter is trying to talk to him. He said, hold on, but saying something like that. We ain't talking about something else, like something serious. He at the hospital or something. He got to hear what the doctor said. He's on a video game. This video game is going to be there. And a lot of men, it might not be a video game. Whatever it is, if he regularly gets you to split attention with him, he'll make time for you, but only while he's doing something else. While he's watching the game or while y'all are on the date, he's constantly on his phone. Now, you have men who have a bad habit of trying to multitask. Again, use your discernment. There are men out here who are just poor when it comes to managing their attention. They may quickly get distracted. Some people diagnose ADHD and all these other things. So use your discernment. But again, even with those type of situations, you're going to see a valid effort for that man to let you know that at any point in time where you're giving him your energy and attention, he needs to reciprocate, because that's a blessing. That's a privilege. Anything less than that is that man getting you to chase him. The moment you start pleading with him, lecturing him, teaching him, warning him, threatening him, giving ultimatums, you are now chasing that man. You are now getting on one knee and proposing to that man for marriage. I mean, not even marriage, for a relationship. You're proposing to that man for just common decency. Another way that a man will get you to chase him is by making you feel like you're in competition with other women. You ever had a man that just casually mentioned how another woman was in shape or this or that? His ex used to do this good thing, and he kind of props her up on a pedestal. I'm not talking about just generally showing love or respect for somebody who, who's exceptional, because of course he probably expects you to be some level of secure, I'm not saying that. I'm talking about openly showing some type of admiration for another woman, but not completely crossing the line, just enough for you to know he's giving this other person some type of energy that you probably want from him. He's bragging about what kind of women he could have or has had in the past, and he could have again if he wanted. He's bragging, not in a conversation where this is relevant, this is pertinent for you to know. I mean, he volunteers this kind of stuff. Yeah, I had a couple of women today checking me out. He's kind of making you feel like you're in competition. That man is making you chase him. Again, for not just undivided attention, but his undivided affection, his undivided attraction. He's trying to keep friend girls around that clearly think they got a chance, or even worse, this is the same thing. This is the same thing when he has open energy with these women. There's a such thing as a man who generally is kind, communicative. He connects well with people in general. I'm not talking about that. But y'all know the type of man that lets women blur the lines with him. Blurs the line with those women, but lets women do it. Won't set the boundaries. For any woman that he engages with, it almost seems like he wants them to think they have a chance with him. Y'all ever been in a situation like that? Put I down in the chat if you've ever been with a man that was overly friendly or was receptive to women that were overly friendly with him. Whether in your face or not in your face. Any man that gets you to feeling like you have to compete is not prioritizing your safety in a relationship. Any man that makes you feel like your spot can be taken or is constantly it's up for grabs, or he's evaluating other women or other women on a regular basis, are able to get certain access to him or levels of him that should be reserved for you. That man is trying to make you compete for him. Okay, I'm seeing some eyes. Okay, so I'm talking to somebody. Good. I'm in the right place. That man is making you compete for him. Some men think they need to do this in order to keep a woman sharp, keep her on her toes. Like, bro, all you doing is making that woman doubt whether or not she's safe to be with you. Any man listening to this, I get y'all be listening to some of these channels that tell you to do stuff like this, to, have your woman thinking. All you're going to end up with is a woman who is paranoid, a woman who can't trust, and a woman who eventually starts to shut down on you. Probably check out, because no woman wants to exist in that space long term. Now, do you have some women who have low enough self-esteem, or, maybe in the moment she just feels like, let me get into action, let me be on my stuff, because maybe. But if you're talking a long-term strategy, you setting yourself up to fumble that woman into the hands of a man that's going to look and jump for the opportunity to remove all doubt about where that woman stands versus other women who want her spot. Maybe there are other women. Maybe. If you got a highly desirable man, there's probably other women who are attracted. But if I'm talking to the women here, it's probably going to be women who are attracted to yours, right? So other men that are attracted to yours. But a smart man is going to say, let me make sure that with the way I move, because I'm the common denominator, I don't give any inkling of hope to this woman or any inkling of doubt to my woman about who's in my life, who I'm choosing, who I'm invested in. That's a smart man, an evolved man, a mature man. But there are a lot of men out here, sis, there's a lot of men out here who think you need to constantly be in a race with other women for his attention, for his priority, for his affection. And I'm telling you this, if that man expects you to race like that for him, even after he supposedly chose you, drop out of the race. Drop out of the race. Get off the treadmill, because that's all it is. You ain't going nowhere fast, but all you're doing is exhausting yourself. Joy says accurate. Okay. Another way. I said I'm going to give y'all 5. I know I gave y'all way more than 5. Whatever. Let's keep going. I'll give y'all one more. Another way that man would try to make you honestly chase him, propose to him to be just in a relationship. And I think a lot of y'all can relate to this, is whenever he's the last one to try to resolve conflict. Y'all have some type of blow up. Y'all have some type of argument, falling out, disagreement. And he's not the one to initiate resolution. Y'all don't talk for maybe an hour or two, right? Maybe a couple, maybe longer. Sometimes I've seen y'all go days without barely talking to each other. There's tension in the air. There's a distance between you two in terms of intimacy, closeness, affection right now. And you the one that's always got to be the one to start the conversation, to get through it. You the one that's always got to be the bigger person. Ladies, if you constantly have to be the bigger person in your relationship, you're dealing with somebody who is too small for you. And I'm not talking about physical size. You're dealing with somebody who is not tall enough to ride this ride of a healthy relationship. When a man always puts it on you to resolve conflict, he is getting you to chase him to keep the relationship together. Because it's in the conflict resolution that the relationship spaces are glued together. The good times ain't never what breaks a relationship. It's always the bad times. No relationship ends because of the good times. The relationships end because of the bad times. And so if a man is always the last one, now you got times where I'm not a good man even will have times where it's like, no, I'm not going to be the one to resolve this because she hurt me, she did me wrong, and he genuinely feels that way. So use discernment. But if you notice, 5, 6 times in a row, y'all haven't fallen out, y'all ain't talking, y'all not in a good place, y'all not feeling very close or safe with each other, and you got to be the one to say, hey, can we talk? Hey, I don't feel like something's wrong. What's wrong? You got to be the one to do that. You're now chasing him. You're chasing him in the relationship. You are therefore, for those who are just coming in, chasing a man is not just the equivalent, but even worse than getting on one knee and proposing to him. Because when you propose to a man, and I'm saying I'm of the generation, hey, that's not a woman's place. I believe in gender roles. You, as a woman, what are you doing? No, I don't want my woman proposing to me. I want to do that. That's a man's job. But you know what? The proposal for marriage happens like one time. But when a man gets you to propose to him by chasing him for just being in a healthy relationship where there's mutual effort, that's happening over and over and over again. And we ain't even talking about a legally binding contract of marriage, the covenant. We're not even talking about you proposing for that. If you gonna propose for anything, let it be something actually worth having. If you're gonna do it, y'all be proposing just to get respect. Anytime you chase a man, that's what you're doing. You're proposing to him. That's what I'm saying. Anytime that you try to get that man to stop from leaving or stop from signaling that he's okay without you, because that's ultimately what it comes down to. A lot of times, whenever you have conflict with a man and he's not the one to say, hey, baby, can we talk? Hey, baby, something on my mind. Maybe something's on your mind. I just feel like the energy is off. If any time you get into a situation where something's wrong and he won't do that, he's trying to signal to you that he's okay without you, that he could do without you. If you want to leave, leave. If you don't like it, here, go. That's what his actions are saying. I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. Pick up what I'm putting down. If you're the woman and you always have to, now I think there's going to be times where you do come forward and say, hey, baby, can we talk? And that's fine. But if it don't feel equal or on some level mutual, like where y'all share in the interest of continuing forward through any type of conflict, and it's always on you, he's put you in a situation where you got to prove that you're worth him remaining in your life. Instead of at least being on the same page, if not the other way around, whereas the assertive factor, the man, the masculine, the leader, him doing that, him putting himself out. Because it's funny, man, we love being a leader when it comes to making the decisions. We love being a leader when it comes to getting food first in the house and being more valid than your parents. And we love being a leader when it comes to that. But when it comes to putting our pride aside, when it comes to managing our ego, ain't it funny how we pick and choose that ain't the time for us to be the leader then? Then it's on you, the woman. We want you to submit to us. But we don't want you to be the one that submits to our effort, our energy to resolve a conflict, even when we feel like we are in the right. We like to pick and choose. And let me tell you something. You deal with a man like that long enough, you're going to inherit the narrative on your soul that you're unworthy of a man's maximum effort. You're going to inherit that. That's what happens. Just like there's nonverbal communication, right? You can speak something to somebody just with your body language. So you ain't got to say nothing with your mouth. There's also nonverbal reception of communication. Without you hearing it with your ears, you hear it with your heart. Whenever a man is constantly telling you with his actions, you're not worthy of more than the bare minimum. You're not worthy of him being assertive. You're not worthy of him meeting you at least halfway. You're not worthy of him knowing he got to show up and prove himself every day. You inherit that. And I've noticed that a lot of women who leave relationships, they get rid of the man, and they never get rid of the narrative that man gave them, that they weren't worthy of better than what that man got them used to. There's a lot of y'all who leave a man, but he left with your peace. He left you in pieces, then left with your peace. You finally got the courage. You did the thing that you were supposed to do. See, it's like you knew this man, that ain't it. I can do better, right? So you did the first part, got him out of your life, but you never got the triggers out of your mind. You never got the scars, the wounds off of your heart. His name come up, you get pissed. You see him, you get triggered. He texts you or something like that, you really struggle not to respond. Maybe you still responding. Even worse if you're still engaging with him on some level, because some men will try to downgrade the relationship that they failed in down to a situationship where they can, it's okay and it should be expected that they give you the bare minimum. And all of these things are the side effects of a soul tie. You know, when we talk about soul ties, sometimes we just like to over-religicize things and over-theoretical, This is what a soul tie looks like in real life. And I went in depth with my master class a couple of days ago. I just put the encore up. The link to the encore of that master class, really going in depth with what a real soul tie is. But I'm going to give y'all just a real top level, real brief. You know you're dealing with a soul tie whenever you still have thoughts of that man you don't even desire to be in a relationship with. You still have a soul tie when the thoughts of that man and what he did to you comes up anytime you meet even a man that's not presenting any kind of red flags. When it comes up and says, don't let this man in because you remember such and such, that's a soul tie. When this man makes maybe just a mistake and you think of how this man did that thing and you barely recover from that, that's a soul tie. This man got the same name or the same characteristic or something like that that's in front of you right now, and you immediately think of such and such, and now you turned off, that's a soul tie. You waiting and hoping and wishing that this man finally gets his karma. You need answers from questions he left you with, even if it's years ago, that's a soul tie. You had multiple babies with this man, even though you knew he wasn't right for you. I'm not judging you, sis. I'm saying when you couldn't operate from your own value system and your own common sense, and you almost feel ashamed that you didn't do better when you had the chance. Like you knew better, but you didn't do better. Why? That was a soul tie. And that's not even where it ends. Again, there's so much more to this topic, and people are not being real about what a soul tie is, and more importantly, how to break it. I don't like presenting problems without presenting solutions. That's why I did the masterclass a couple of days ago. Thousands of you who watched it, y'all already know the power of that masterclass and how it can change your life if you're in that space where you need to truly purge a man from your energy, from your spirit, from your mind. Finally get him completely off of your mind so you can move forward and be free. For those of you who haven't watched it yet, I'll put the encore link right here. It's down in the comments. Watch next. Break the Soul Tie Masterclass. This link right here. It's also in the caption whenever you back out. See if I can put it again. You can register for that right now so you get it, because I'm only going to leave it up for another day or two. I don't leave encores up very long, but I really want you to get this information if you haven't yet, so you can get your peace back. You can finally get your ex off your mind. You can purge him from any type of imprint he left on you that's hindering you from the man God truly has for you. It's only going to come by way of you doing the work to cut that soul tie. And a lot of y'all are intimidated by that because it's going to take years. No, it ain't. You just got to know the right way to do it. You just got to have the strategies. Say, Nadine, the class is really good. Working on it. Exactly. I ain't got nothing but crazy good feedback. And it's free. That master class is free. I'm your big brother. I'm going to always give y'all some free game. Yeah, I charge good money for what I do, but I want everybody to have access to this. But moral of the story, if you wouldn't get on one knee and propose to that man for marriage, do not spiritually, emotionally, or mentally get on both knees and beg that man to be who he presented himself to be in the relationship. If you wouldn't get on one knee and ask that man for his hand in marriage, don't you dare get into the relationship or even before that in the dating phase and beg that man for common decency. I know you deserve better, but at some point you got to know that, and you got to walk in alignment with that, sis. I'm just keeping it real with you. You know, I'm your big brother, looking out for you per usual. And I don't ask for no money. Keep your money. But if you got anything of value from this conversation, all I ask is that you hit the share button so other people can do it. That's why I do it. I take time. I'm over here charging my car. I take time out of my day to do this. But it is only meaningful if you guys, one, get something out of it, and two, share it so somebody else can be blessed the same way that you did. And if you want access to my free master class, it's the most recent one. If you've seen some of the other ones, you ain't seen nothing like this. Over an hour and a half, I drop gems. Watch that next. Right now, click this link, register, and watch that next. The link is going to get sent to your email. All right? I'll let y'all be